Jonathan, we are about to dive headfirst into the chaos that nobody in the mainstream media wants to touch. Tonight, explosive leaks about Pete Hegseth allegedly brokering a secret deal to get Trump a free Qatari jet, while half of Washington is scrambling behind the scenes. And just when you thought things couldn't get wilder, Trump claims he's finally given up on the infamous list. But sources say it's the one they snagged from Ghislaine Maxwell's 2-day interrogation, a list that conveniently leaves out Trump's own name and swaps his political enemies. Forget transparency. This smells like the ultimate misdirection. So here's tonight's dire question. Are we watching history repeat with new secret deals and clean lists? Or is this just a level of manipulation America's never seen before? Jonathan, where do we even begin unpacking all of that?
I think it's more like this is one that's so prompt in everybody's face that it's hard to ignore compared to many of the others that have happened that have been even more egregious that we did ignore. So
Right.
I've been looking at this Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. I just read that she was denied immunity to testify in front of Congress. And then Trump talked about how he has the information for the 100 people she supposedly gave up to her 2-day interrogation with his personal lawyer, now turned government lawyer, whatever. And I think I see the pattern here. I think this is what's going to happen. This is my guess.
Wait. It's another one of Big Jonathan's predictions. Here we go.
We'll see how it goes. Well, it's
He's
not
like
just
3
mine.
for 3.
Look, a lot of people are guessing this, but I think it's right. So the reason the main list isn't out is because it's not going to have the impact he wants, which is because he's on it, and people that don't matter to prosecute anymore.
Did you say because it's not going to have the impact that we want?
It's not going to have the impact he wants. Trump
of course.
It's because A, it's got him on it, and B, it doesn't have people that he wants on it. And I think if you listen to him talk, like it's not going to have the auto pen on it because the auto pen never went to Epstein. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't help that. But so Ghislaine Maxwell supposedly gave a list of 100 people that should have been a
This is breaking news to me, guys. I haven't heard this one yet. That
should have been to a copy of what was given before to the best of her memory after all the torment. And my guess what happens is they're going to have that list. Trump's not going to be on it.
For sure.
Yeah. And Bill Clinton's going to be on it, Avi, so they can get Hillary.
Yep.
And then they're going to have a bunch of other people on there, too, that probably had nothing to do with the island at all. And they're going to start going after him, like the Harvard person. Like,
Jonathan, what if we end up on this list?
Well, it's only 100. I'm sure he's got much bigger fish to fry on this one. Like Jerome Powell. I wouldn't be surprised if Jerome Powell is on this list. But in all seriousness, no, I do believe there's going to be a bunch of people, and that he's kind of starting to allude to it. He's kind of starting to talk about it. He's chumming the waters, so to speak, or he's testing out the waters, however you want to do it. That he has a list of 100 people that she gave up that they are going to use to prosecute or to torment, harass, or to tear down whatever they can get out of it. And they're going to go after his enemies and not his friends. And Elon, I heard that Elon
how are they going to do that? They're going to go off hearsay from Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yep.
So
that's
new
exactly
rules,
what they're going to do.
New laws, guys.
That's what they're going to give out to the public is a list that she supposedly gave up that Trump's administration made sure matches what Trump wants, which is his enemies and people that are not doing the two things, which is making him richer or making him more powerful, that are causing him issues, are going to be on that list, like the guy from Harvard. Like nobody cares about, let's be honest.
I don't even know his name.
I don't care his name.
Right.
But he's got a hard-on for
Rosie
attacking
O'Donnell.
Harvard. Huh?
Rosie O'Donnell.
I mean, he may just deport her. We'll see.
She's already gone.
Well, if she's smart, she won't come back for another 3 years. Or another year. That's something we can talk about later.
Rosie, you're always welcome at my house, Rosie O'Donnell. All right?
Good luck,
You're
Rosie.
welcome at the Almost Above Average Studios. Okay?
But I think they'll come up with a list. It'll be sanitized by the people between Trump and him. Trump will say this person, no, add this person.
Yeah.
They'll have a list. They'll present it out. It'll obviously be fake. It'll obviously not match up with the flight records we already have. It won't include him, and they're going to use this as proof that he's good. And Trump is innocent of all this, and he has nothing to do with it, even though we have unbelievable amounts of ammunition to prove that it is.
So
and
right
then
now,
he'll use this to go after the people he's already talked about.
Listen up. We're going to have a little period of time now where we're predicting what's going to happen. You have time now to soak it in and to prepare for it.
Yep.
This is going to happen.
And the reason they're not going to allow her to testify in front of Congress with immunity is because they know the risk of her saying Trump was there either on purpose or by accident, given that she didn't get her pardon yet, is a very real possibility. So keeping a witness off the stand who might accidentally incriminate him or intentionally incriminate him is key. So they're doing this. One person goes and talks to her in private, presents all the information, even though this guy was Trump's personal attorney before. Like the bias, the corruption is just on full display. Like this is the equivalent of looking in a hat and coming up with a magic list of
Do you think Ghislaine has an ace in the hole, a magic ace in the hole that she's gonna? I think her game is longer than Trump's right now. Like I think they're gonna make a deal so she doesn't testify, doesn't have to say his name. But part of me feels like maybe a redeeming quality to Ghislaine will be to before she dies to drop the bomb on everyone.
Yeah, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. But I worry and I'm concerned that she's going to give up this list, Trump's going to present it, and somehow she's going to die. And that'll be the end of that story. And I think there's a good chance she'll get a pardon, and then she'll die, and they'll blame the left, and go, see what they did? She was innocent, and blah, blah, blah.
Can we go on a little tangent for a second about that? Because there is some Putin-esque activities that is kind of going on around Trump. Someone, was it a Comey? Well, a Comey was fired, but there was someone involved in the Epstein investigation that mysteriously passed away. They were like 80 or 81 or something. I think it was one of the attorneys, the prosecuting attorney, it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Passed away mysteriously at 80 years old. I don't know anything surrounding those circumstances, but the fact that it happened makes me question it, especially because he's so close to Putin and you see that kind of stuff happening in Russia.
It was Giselle's attorney.
Ghislaine?
Ghislaine's attorney. Yeah, he died. One of the two that represented her just died.
Suspect.
Yeah, I mean, this is so blatant that they're going to corrupt everything that could come from her to target Trump's enemies. They're hiding it all behind the curtain. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain, said the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. And they're going to bring it out. It's going to be full of crap, and they're going to use it to try to interrogate people. And they're not going to give you the original list. They're not going to give you the evidence. The Epstein files are never coming out. They're going to bring this out. They're going to say, look, MAGA's going to go, hey, we got the list. And it's like, no, it's not the same list, guys. It's not the same list. The Epstein list.
Look, Trump's not on it. I can already hear
Trump is on, that we already know, and he has admitted to.
Yeah.
He has said, oh, I'm on it. But they faked it. Because he's already admitted he's on it. Regardless of how he got on there, he's already admitted he's on it. But that list will never see the light of day. This new list that they are faking will come out. It'll have Trump's enemies, and it'll look bad for a lot of people who don't know what's going on.
Okay, so we've established that Trump has been to the island. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, he said he's never had the privilege of going to the island.
There was another thing that came out yesterday. One of the senators was before Congress. I think this is correct. I don't have all the details. It was like a thing I saw in passing, and they found that more than 4,700 bank transfers from Trump through Russian banks to Epstein over the course of their friendship.
How many?
More than 4,700, almost 4,800.
My theory is this: like
4,736 or something. I don't remember the exact number. It's like 4,700, but more than that. Wire transfers or bank transfers through Russian banks from Trump to Epstein. He's never been to the island. Come the fudge off.
That shows intent right there. Like,
I personally believe that, and I'd said this before, and I said it before, I think Epstein and Trump worked together. Mm-hmm. Epstein was hired by Russia to help influence American business and politics. And they got Melania, whose father is supposedly FSB, which is like their version of CIA or something like that, Russian CIA. And then Epstein introduced her to Trump. And then the thing that I've had running around my head is his previous wife died under weird circumstances, right?
Right.
And she's just buried on the golf course or something, course grounds, like right off of one of the holes of his golf course. And I'm like, that seems very suspicious, given that he married a Russian right after that while working with Epstein, who also reportedly worked with the Russians. Was that an assassination so that they could get Trump with Melania so they could get him corrupted and under their control and do everything that they're doing now? And I don't know this is just a weird ass theory I thought of.
Did we just create a conspiracy?
It tracks.
It does.
So
all of that makes sense. Kind of like
a possibility is that the Russians with Epstein killed Trump's previous wife to get him with Melania, either with or without Trump's consent.
There's been several reports of Trump being a Russian agent for decades anyway.
And yeah, there's even FSB agents that have talked about it. So whatever. And Putin even says he's my guy. I own him, like on the television over there. But anyway, so shenanigans. Not good. Quartar plane. I told you, and I told you, and I told you. No way on God's green earth is he going to accept a $400 million plane and it's going to sit in a parking lot nowhere doing nothing. That was horse's assery thinking that anybody thought that he would not use that long term. And now that Hedgepath allocated, what was it, $900 and some million to basically gut the thing.
You want to go through the article?
There's no surveillance equipment, add in the radar tech, add in the anti-missile tech, the enhanced shielding, like everything that goes into this. Well, how much was it? It was 900 and no, keep going. So the plane was 400, and then there's like a 900 and some odd dollar. You don't have it. It was like 973 million or something, between 8 and 900 million. No, sorry, between 900 and $1 billion dollars to retrofit this. They're allocating it, but kids can't have school lunches, and you can't have Medicaid, and you can't have clean water or anything. Good luck with that, buddy. They're going to make almost $1 billion available to retrofit Trump's plane. And then they got a waiver signed so that he could keep flying it after he leaves the White House.
Yeah, they donate it to his presidential library, which basically we just give it to him.
That was one thing. But now they're also including something to where he can just fly around on it, even if it's owned by the museum. So he's going to fly around on a $1.5 billion plane almost at our expense on his private time after he leaves the White House. Thrifting AF.
Donald Trump literally just bullied the entire world because he wanted a plane. He's like, everyone is telling him no. Everyone's saying there's no legal pathway to it.
Nope. Because he wanted to be respected as being important enough to be gifted a plane. That's what it was all about. His importance and why he signed that deal in Qatar and why they bribed him with his own resort and gifted him his plane is to fluff his ego so that they can do other stuff. And these are supposedly the same people that paid, what's his name, Jared Kushner, $2 billion in a loan right after the CIA list disappeared. Come on.
Yeah.
Corrupt. And you guys thought, oh, well, Trump said this. I told you it wasn't going to happen. He was going to fly around on it. There was going to be some excuse, and he was going to get to fly on a plane that we spent almost $1 billion outfitting, and somebody else spent $400 million to give him. So almost $1.5 billion plane that he gets to ride around in for free because he was in office for a few years, and he donates his salary.
How does that feel, MAGA? He's straight up taken from you. Normally, you guys want to be fiscally conservative.
And that's already on the what, like $50 billion or $50 million that we've already spent for all of his personal trips. Like the one to Scotland was like 10 million plus, and then all the other trips he's taken around for his funsies and all the golf weekends he's taken, like, and not to mention all the stuff he did on his first term. You guys think he's going to save you guys money, and that's the other thing too. That rebate thing is just bullshit that he's feeding you guys to make you forget about Epstein. You are never going to see that dollar. Ain't going to happen.
What rebate are you talking about?
Trump floated giving a rebate because they had $25 billion surplus because of all the tariffs. And he floated sending all the Americans of a certain working class a check. And let's be honest, he's talking about the rich people.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see that check. I'm just letting you know. Everybody watching this ain't going to see that check. Ain't going to happen.
That's right. Make America great again,
That money is going towards his plane. and Ghislaine's unfortunate suicide is coming on.
Oh, man.
God help her.
That's not
funny. That she's a good person. I fully believe she's a horrible person going to hell.
She's a pedophile. She's a convicted pedophile. But
sex trafficker.
anyways, we'll leave it there for right now. If you like this content, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Follow us on all social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And until next time, peace.
Welcome to Almost Above Average. Chris and myself, Jonathan, wanted to point out the newest thing in totalitarianism and authoritarianism and corruption and tyranny that we just have seen again for the 50th time. We have joked in the past about his comment about deporting, who was it? Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, Rosie.
And he's talked about prosecuting Biden. He's talked about prosecuting Obama. Then he said Obama has immunity, but he wants to prosecute him anyway. And they've talked about prosecuting Hillary. They talked about prosecuting. Well, more is coming out, and let's look at it real fast.
Yeah, let's talk about Jimmy Carter. What did Jimmy Carter do? No, just kidding.
He was still alive.
Is he being prosecuted?
How do I find this?
I know he's dead, everyone. I am aware that he has passed. And Trump
calls. This is Eyewitness News on ABC 11 or ABC 7. So this is ABC reporting it. This is not me making it up. Trump calls for Kamala Harris and celebrities like Obama, Beyonce to be prosecuted. For what? Why would you prosecute Beyonce? Because she supported the Democrats. And he's claiming all these crazy things like, oh, we need a major investigation into
It's because she's too bootylicious, Jonathan. She's too bootylicious for you, babe.
But this is classic tyranny. This is classic authoritarianism. If you go against Trump, remember what I said, if you're not making Trump money or you're not giving him power and you're standing in the way of that, you are the enemy. And Beyonce, all she did was donate some money, sing, and maybe say, hey, I'm going to vote for him. You should too. I'm betting you Taylor Swift's on this list that he's got. There's probably a list.
Well, Stephen Colbert's already lost his job. They got bullied into taking the show out forever.
It is no doubt in my mind that there's a list written in either crayon or very large Sharpie.
Next. He's already said these things.
Yeah, he said he's next. He has a hit list.
Mm-hmm.
There's universities on it. Columbia is coming after Harvard. Harvard's first. Now Columbia is coming up. I don't know if you saw this. They are announced the DOJ is now opening investigations into Duke University for misappropriate behavior in their law journal. And he's coming over after everybody that could possibly stand up against him. Now he went after the Hispanics. Now he's going after the Americans. He's going after them. And you guys thought this stuff was a joke. You thought it was mainly just a distraction. And you're right. But with Trump, you have to remember, if he says something, you have to take it seriously. Everything he says, you have to take it seriously and try to figure out what it means. Every single thing. There's slips, and you can get information from the slips. When he says something direct, it's either a lie to cover it up, or it's an admission of his own guilt that he's redirecting somebody else, or it's something he's testing waters for, or something he's going to do. But you can't ignore any of it. You can't say, ha, 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 he was just joking. Nope.
Here's an example of one of his clips. He just did it the other day.
He said he's going to leave abortions up to the state. Now they're talking about federal bans. But now that he's talking about prosecuting Obama for something that he has president immunity for, who is obviously fake, and everybody's coming out and saying this whole thing is fake, but he still wants to go after him anyway. He still keeps bringing up the name and Biden and Hillary and the emails. Like, Jesus Christ, guy. But now that Beyonce and Oprah and Al Sharpton and these others on the list, who basically all they did was their civic duty per what affiliation of party they wanted to go with, exercising their constitutional legal rights. He wants to go after these people because they didn't go with him. He felt like they displaced him, or they shamed him, or they made him look inferior because they didn't back him. He's going after them. And if you don't think he's going to try to figure out how to hurt these people, get real. He's already talking about decrediting and getting rid of news agencies. He's already getting rid of television personalities. He's already suing universities. He's already suing newspapers. He's doing all this stuff. Will he win any of it? Some of it, but this is the act of a tyrant. It is growing bolder. It is growing more significant, and that list is going to continue to grow, and it's going to continue to get worse, and you guys voted for it that voted for him.
Do you think MAGA cares right now? Leave a comment. How are you feeling about your vote right now?
They're going to care when they lose access to their Social Security. They're going to care when they lose access to Medicare and Medicaid when it's time. They're going to care when AI takes all their jobs and they deport all the jobs overseas. They're going to care when all the auto manufacturers shut down. They're going to care when their groceries prices go up 50%. These are the effects that are starting to happen right now. There was a link I sent you, Chris, last night about automotive, and the guy was like, I can't believe Trump just did this.
Yeah.
And that was, so Trump's got a 50% tariff on steel imports, which is cheaper for us to import steel than to make it for right now.
Mostly from
especially
Canada,
given
too, right?
we just sold the largest steel manufacturer in the US to Japan.
China. Or Japan.
Nippon Steel. Which Trump approved, but now we're going to put a 50% tariff on it. And there was one company, I forget what it was, that was up along the Canadian
Wait, we sold a company and we put a tariff on the product we're going to get
importing, back? And this is how dumb
we just made our own product for our people more expensive for no fucking reason?
We do that all the time.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say it like that. But I'm not surprised.
Like, there was the steel company that was on the Canadian border. They had a manufacturing on the U.S., a manufacturer in Canada. They developed some of the products in one country and some of the products in the other. Same company, same owner, same parent company, same main company. And they wanted to import some of their product that they made in Canada to the U.S. to distribute it. They had to pay a tariff to the U.S. for importing their own product from their own manufacturing facility across a border so they could bring it into their U.S. facility to sell it.
So
and
where's
they're going to go out of business.
This money does go somewhere. Who's benefiting from the tariff?
$25 billion surplus in a month. Where do you think it's going? It's going into all the
spending. It's going into
funds
ICE.
And it's going to, honestly, you know exactly where it's going to go. I've told you numerous times. It's going to go towards giving the tax breaks to the ultra rich and to the corporations. That's where it's going to go. And instead of raising the national debt, was it $3.9 trillion over the next 5 to 7 years? It'll raise it 3.8 and change. And that's what's going to happen. This is what they're doing, guys. And
so if I want to move one of my $1 trillion accounts into another IRA in another country, would that be the best move?
Well, Trump's also going to change the money you can make off of selling houses. So you could just do it that way now.
Oh, good.
But my point was, it is now cheaper to buy a car made in Europe and import it under the new 15% tax tariff that Trump just created with the agreement with the EU than it is to manufacture that vehicle in the United States. We're not going to manufacture these vehicles in the United States with a 50% tariff on steel and a 30 or 40% tariff on parts. And when we can just spend the 15% to buy the whole gosh darn thing from Europe. Good job. Y'all got played.
Well, there's been a little glimmer of hope online. I've seen a few MAGA creators out there like, we got scammed, guys. We got duped.
So there's a new thing going around. I don't know if you've been seeing this, but numerous federal law experts, along with, and I think this is one of the reasons he's going after Duke and Harvard, is because they're standing up saying, no, according to the laws of our great country, Congress is the only one that can legally assign and approve tariffs on behalf of the United States. An executive order is not legally binding and has no effect, and yet we're still doing it because Trump has enough loyalists in place throughout the government from all the massive firings they've been doing with Republican control over the last few years to be able to put the right bill in place to substantiate illegal tariffs. Now,
we need to regulate executive orders.
So the theory is that the Supreme Court is getting ready to rule on it next year. They're going to wait till next year to do it, and they're waiting to see which way the wind blows in the 2026 elections. So in 2026, one of two things could happen based on this theory. This is not my theory. I'm just repeating it. Republicans keep control of the House and Senate, and the Supreme Court never hears the challenge to the executive order for tariffs, or Democrats take control, which is very possible. For the love of God, I don't care if you are MAGA or not. He's going to hurt you. Go vote against these
Go vote against
terrorists. Trump. Vote against MAGA. Sorry, they're going to kill you in the end. Metaphorically, maybe even literally, if they take away your
fascist movement. It is not going well.
Raise your, like, what are you going to do when they raise the cost of your medicine 200% because Trump implements the tariff?
They're going to bitch about Biden doing it. They're going to blame it on Biden. They're going to blame it on Obama. They're going to blame it on fucking something else. That's exactly what they do every single time.
They just had that senator arguing with the other person about who signed the deal originally, the sweetheart deal with Epstein and Giselle back in the day.
I heard
and
a bit of
like,
that.
No, yeah. Obama did it. It's like, no, that was under Trump, you idiots.
Or anyway. I thought it was under Bush. Or I heard the argument that the first one was under the Bush administration before Obama.
One of them was, but if I understood correctly, Epstein's was under. No, Giselle's was Bush, Trump was Epstein, something like that. I don't know. Go research, put the comments in, make sure we have all the information. People,
yeah, correct us by all means.
Yeah, please. I honestly, it's just so hard to keep all this spaghetti straight.
Yeah.
But once the Democrats take back control, they're going to impeach that guy right out the door, and the Supreme Court will rule that a president cannot use EOs to get rid of, or to effect tariffs, and that's going to hamstring any Democrat that ever wants to do it downstream, so they're okay with that.
Right. Hey, I forgot that we're live on YouTube. If anyone's watching this, Jonathan really wants to debate someone on the MAGA side. Really, really bad. We want to do it live on YouTube. We're willing to do it. Come on by. Join, subscribe to the Almost Above Average podcast. I just put him on the spot, y'all.
Anyway, yeah, so big day. Good luck if you're anti-Trump and you're a celebrity, because you're going to be in trouble. And I'm curious to see what happens when the Beyonce crew and the Oprah crew and the Taylor Swift crew, when he threatens Taylor Swift, decide to get together.
I think the Swifties are the fourth biggest army on the planet right now. The Swifties and the BTS army, they're the like number 2 and 3 armies on the planet. It used to be the Bieber army, but I don't think since the Diddy stuff, he's not very popular.
Who's Bieber? I'm just kidding.
All right, well, let's leave it there, and I'm sure there will be enough happening from now in the next hour for us to do another 12 podcasts, but we're going to wait until tomorrow.
I hate this timeline.
I know. There's so much shit coming out. Sometimes we get in here and it's like, which one do we talk about today? But I guess something we can always talk about is Epstein. There's something new with Epstein every single day. And to follow us on the Almost Above Average podcast so you don't miss anything. I mean, we're giving it to you live. We're giving it to you hard. We're giving it to you fast. That just sounded funny to say. Anyway, I'm Chris McIntyre. That's Jonathan Travis. This is Almost Above Average podcast. Subscribe, please. Peace. Jonathan, I heard that Trump and Epstein had a little argument back in the day. Can you tell me what that was about?
Yeah, let's look at this. I could not believe the word. So before I share the screen, I just want to reiterate, Trump said he did not have the privilege to visit Epstein Island.
The privilege.
Privilege. So wording is important because I think it was a real slip. But here he said, Epstein, and he used the word stole, a young woman, which means in this case, if I remember correctly, underage, from the Mar-a-Lago spa, and that's why he got mad at him.
Let's read that article.
He stole a young girl, and she had no complaints, by the way. I have the greatest spas, one of the best spas in the world.
Narcissist.
So he stole a girl from Mar-a-Lago.
So there's like 3 things. A girl.
So let's break this down. Did he steal or did he recruit? Did he recruit? Now, here's the thing. Trump knew Epstein what was going on at this point. He knew what was going on that island. So that means Trump did not put up a fight, in my mind, to keep that underage girl from becoming a sex slave on Mar-a-Lago or on Epstein Island. He stole her. He got mad, but he didn't protect her. He knew what was going to happen to her. So he basically didn't try to fight sex trafficking, is what I'm getting out of that.
That story, that kind of put this into my brain. Like maybe Trump had his own pedophile ring and Epstein had his own pedophile ring, and they kind of intermingled and started sharing secrets, started sharing resources, as it were. And Epstein
there's another option.
This one girl a little more than most, and he's like, why don't you just come work for me? And that could have been the splinter.
Now, there was another option, and this is what I suspect is probably the most likely, is that they were operating one in Mar-a-Lago. Epstein and Ghislaine were operating one in Mar-a-Lago, and this girl got relocated, and he didn't like that.
Oh, okay.
That's my theory. That's a theory. That's my theory.
Maybe Trump or Epstein and Maxwell, maybe they were just kind of rogue pedophiles, like out in the world, kind of opportunists, grabbing girls where they could. And Trump was more like, he would group them up. He had events like pageants and stuff. he would get batches of young women together in places. So maybe that was kind of the move. Like he's got women in small places. There's sexual predators, so that would be the natural environment for a sexual predator.
They were using these girls to make money and to blackmail. That's what they were. They were business people doing bad things. They were
Yeah.
bad actors, bad business actors. The other
Eyes
thing I
wide
think
shut.
is worth pointing out is the word stole. And I think that's pretty important. Not abduct, not kidnap,
It implies
not
ownership
hired away. Stole like a piece of property.
from me. It implies ownership.
Yeah. And the implication of ownership in that, I can't let that go.
It's a
Like,
slave. There's
that bothers
slavery,
me.
sexual slavery type of. That's
Now,
the impression that I get.
Now, if another person said, "Oh, that company stole my best employee away," different context, right? And yeah,
Right.
you could make the argument that, like, oh, no, he just means he stole away a good employee. But no, he stole away that girl. Not a good employee, not a great spa attendant. He stole her away. He stole her away.
He
And with we know, and
he
we
liked her a
since we
lot.
know there's human trafficking and sex trafficking going on, stealing or stole, to me has a different connotation. And I think that's important to point out. And if you look at the picture, I don't have it up in front of me. She kind of looks like somebody that maybe has a daddy called Donald Trump. Just saying.
Who? Ghislaine?
No, the girl that was stolen.
Oh, and she was abused, I assume.
I'm assuming. And there's plenty of reports of what he did with these stolen girls at Epstein Island. So,
Well, and there's many reports of like how handsy he was with all the girls that he touched. There's so many of those instances where the girls like he just his hands were all over me. Like so many women have said that. Even if most of them were lying, like what about the ones that are still telling the truth? There's got to be some telling the truth, and so many people say that.
now there's another connection that I'm not sure if it's true, and I hope somebody can research it and let me know one way or the other. So there's reports of a situation that happened on Epstein Island with Trump, where there were two underage girls and they were giving Trump oral, and he wasn't enjoying it to his best. And when he finished, he basically assaulted them, said they were not good at it, and then walked out. And one of those girls, as I understand it, did a video and a signed affidavit here in the United States because she was an American, and indicated Trump was in there and he was party to all this, and Epstein knew about it, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So supposedly she calls him out specifically, discusses what happened, and I can't tell, but I remember her dying, and this person died, and she
Virginia
was on
Dufresne?
the island.
Is that who you're
Is it
talking
the
about?
same person? I wonder. I can't remember, but I wonder if it's the same person.
I know Virginia Dufresne was the one that took, or was a one that took her own life. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but I can't remember. She's the one that said that Trump assaulted her after oral at Epstein Island.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that.
God, if that's the same person, what an absolutely tragic story for this person.
Yeah.
Kidnapped, sex trafficked, abused, freed, died.
Depressed,
No-
and then
No justice whatsoever.
yeah. That's
Anyway.
MAGA. And that's Donald Trump.
MAGA.
America. Pathetic.
Anyway, I could not let go without speaking to the word stole. That just bothers me so much. And he fell out of relations with Epstein because he was a creep and he stole workers. Good God. I just can't believe that this is like coming out of this guy's mouth, that he was talking about stealing workers and he knows what they were doing. He called the guy a creep, even though he called him the greatest person or a good friend and a great person. It's like, man, I encourage everybody here to go look at the video today. Go Google it. It's everywhere. Multiple videos of Trump talking about Epstein and how great a guy he is and how much he enjoys spending time with him. Let that be the refresher to frame in context this kind of stuff.
And leave a comment if you still love Donald Trump. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to see how many of you are out there. But until next time, this is Almost Above Average. I'm Chris McIntyre. That's Jonathan Travis. And we'll talk to you tomorrow because I'm sure there's plenty of shit that's going to come up. So see ya.